guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you are very welcome. This video today is very interesting. In today's video, we are tackling some really common questions that people ask about interracial relationships, interracial marriages. You'd imagine that it's 2024 and people will just get used to it, that there's interracial couples and move on with their life. But no, there's always some people that would ask questions. Some of them are actually insightful, but some of them, well, let's just say they'll make you raise eyebrows. It's like, are you serious right now? That kind of thing. So that's exactly what we are doing today. But if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that each time we upload a brand new video, you are notified. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So some of them come with curiosity, because you could actually just sense their genuine curiosity that they perhaps haven't been exposed, they haven't been able or have had a chance to speak with interracial relationships, and yet some people are just surprised. I don't know why, but yes, they are surprised, and yet some of them are actually judgmental. So that's exactly what we are going to talk about in this video. The first question we are going to answer is, do people stare at you? Yes, I do. And if people stare, we just look at it as like, hey, they think we look great together, and this is the reason why they are staring, and we move on. Number two questions, we are talking cultural differences. So the question is, how about cultural differences? Don't they cause problems in your marriage? If I talk specifically about my marriage, no, it hasn't caused major problems in our marriage. We actually just laugh about it. Like if there is any the cultural difference between me and my husband, is like, oh, okay, yeah, we do this that way, and you do it this way, and we move on. So I really think, like, if you just ask me to answer that question personally, I really think that actually the cultural differences can be enriching, just because you learn something that you don't have in your home country, and you are learning something new, something different. And so I really think that that would be enriching. So rather than looking at it as a problem for you, if you look at it in a positive lens, that would actually be an advantage to you. So if you are looking at it that way, where you are learning each other, you are learning something about the other person, and the willingness on the other part to learn a bit about you, then that would actually bring you together rather than bring a problem in your relationship. The third question is, what would your kids identify as? What would your kids identify as? We already have kids. We've got 5 kids, and it just depends on where you are. You know what? They have come to accept that as much as they want to be identified as this and that, there's always the world standard of who they are, how they look like, that kind of thing. So depending on where you are, like I said, let me just give you an example. When we are in Africa, where the majority of people there are black, they look at them as different people because they've got different skin tone, that kind of thing. They are not as black as I am, but then they are obviously not as white as their father is. And so when they are in Africa, they actually do have the name in Africa for them, like colored or mulatto. And so they obviously take them as different people instead of, this is the problem with the world today. Okay, is you are either that or this. They just don't accept people for who they are. If they are in the gray area, accept them because they are mixed. All right, they're two different races, two different cultures came together, and they produced those kids. And so depending on where they are, I would say. But then if they are in North America, they are definitely identified as Black. I don't know how that works because, we are talking kids, a product of two races. Like, I contributed my 50%, the father contributed his 50%. So why are they only identified with one race? Okay, to make your answer short, in my experience, it hasn't been a real big problem just because both races do accept them. Like, my family accepts them as their own, and then the people in my circle accept them as their own. So and that's an advantage. That is a very good part about it, just because they are accepted, in both races. So they don't have a problem that way. I know there's some people that have different experiences because they are either that or they are that, that kind of thing. And that could cause a confusion in the kid's life or, problems. So my kids have not experienced where they're like, okay, you're either that or you're that, that kind of thing. They are accepted in both instances, both parts of the family. Number 4 questions. Do your families approve of that? Yeah, that is gonna be a really long answer. Okay, so let me start. My family accepted James as a person. Maybe he was different race, he's a different race, but they accepted him. The only time we had a problem is we met and then it's okay, we want to get married, and then they some members of a family were not jumping up and down because of that. They actually wanted us to give it more time, longer time, so that we get to know each other and things like that. But that's the only problem that I had with, because we wanted to get married right away. As a person from a different race, they had no problem with that. Now let me talk about James's family. James comes from a really small family where at the time I got married to him, the father was already dead, was no more. So there was only the mother, the sister, the uncle. Yeah. So those are the 3 people that were in James's life at the time. So the uncle and the sister readily accepted me as James's wife. However, the mother did not. If anything, I really think that she disliked me because I was a different race. I think that she would have loved if James went for a different race, his own race. We did not see eye to eye. It's okay. I just got to a point where I know I did try this and that, so that we could get along, but then things did not happen. So I just got to a point where I just accepted, like, okay, it is what it is. This is the way it's gonna be. Like, I know as a child, I look forward to, at the time I get married, I'm gonna be nice to my mother-in-law. I hope that we get along with my mother-in-law, and then we could even go shopping, we could cook together, we could do this and that. But that dream never came true. That did not happen. So it is what it is. Sad, but that's that reality, right? So it's part of life. Question number 5. Yeah, so the question is, isn't dating outside your race just a preference? Yeah, let me explain. I think that there's a thin line between fetishizing and preferences. Some people mistake fetishizing for preferences. And let me explain that. Fetish is just a temporary kind of thing where you are like, okay, you just tell yourself that, how would it feel like to date someone that was not from my race, somebody that had a different race. While preferences, it's a permanent thing. Like, you want that kind of race, you want that kind of thing where you get together and then you are forever going to be, that's going to be your favorite forever, right? So this is what I mean when I say there's a difference, there's a thin line between fetishizing and preferences. Because some of the time you wouldn't even tell that if you are just with that person, that different person from a different race, just for the sake of testing or just getting a feel of what it feels to be with a person from that race, or you want to spend like that's your forever, liking. If you see what I mean? Am I making sense? Yeah. So, for me, I would just speak for myself. Even when I was younger, it was my desire that I just want to get married to. I was more attracted. Let me just say this. I was more attracted to someone that was Caucasian. Yeah. I know there's a lot of handsome brothers, beautiful brothers. Like, you look at them, you're like, wow, this one is art. Like, whoever designed this person was like, yeah, but I am not attracted to them. Like, I don't know if they're attracted to me, but I am, I can only speak of how I feel. So I am not attracted to them. And like, I look at a Caucasian guy, it's like, oh wow, this person, I want to spend the rest of my life with them. Yeah. So based on that, I was like, okay, this is my preference. And when it was time for me to get married, I got married to my husband. And I must say, like, as far as the choice, it hasn't, like, I have no regret about that. Even like, we've been married for 20 years, it feels like, it feels like yesterday, that kind of thing. So I see myself spending the rest of my life with him just because that was my preference. Yeah, I think that would work out differently if I was just, fetishizing, if it was just like, a temporary kind of thing where you're like, okay, I just want to feel how it feels like, to be with such a person. And I would say the same thing for him, because he told me so. Like, ever since he was young, he always wanted, like, to get married to a chocolate. a dark chocolate like me. And fortunately, we met, we fell in love, and we got married, and here we are. And there's no sign of, slowing down, because we found what we wanted. And so that's where we are at. So guys, there you have it. The most questions that are asked by people about interracial relationship. If you are in one, remember, it's your love, it's your life, it's your journey. Be happy with it, because it's you that matters the most. For everyone else, let's keep learning, let's keep loving, let's keep growing, and let's keep celebrating love in all its forms. Do you have any other question about interracial relationships? Please drop it in the comment section. Let me know about it, and we are going to address it together. Alright guys, we have come to the end of our today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And comment down below. Tell me what you think about this video. Follow for more content about love, interracial relationships, marriages, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye now.